Well, thank you very much for coming. The average age of the people here is very low as a consequence of these guys. There's a rumor on campus that I'm like a really good guy to work with, and everybody else you might work with as a first or second or third year undergraduate requires you to kill something or a lot of something, like mice, rats, rabbits. And the fact that I could offer them something where they didn't have to kill anything was just like so remarkable.
It's already dead, all the stuff you got to work with.
But we have food from every continent, every culture here.
Oh, I come to hear the jazz.
Okay. Well, you know,
I'll put it back like that.
So this is almost open mic, but not really open mic. As Kim alluded to, we've known each other for quite a long time, and he was telling me out in the hallway that people like to work with him because he doesn't have to torture anything, it's already dead. So Kim has breathed life into this department for a long time. He's been the father of the Banff score, which is utilized widely in transplantation, predicting the ability and how long our kidneys will last, or if our kidneys are in trouble. And he's quantified it in a way that's been adopted all over the world. And Kim has amazed me, because you come to talk to pathologists and they're living amongst the dead, and they're usually very unique people that study the dead. But they have another complex side to them that you can never predict. And Kim's interest in poetry and Leonard Cohen, and for that matter, computer skills and photography are captured all over the world, and people know him for many different things. So, Kim, happy 70th birthday. Happy that I could hear some music, and but I may have to run to save my hide because the wife beckons. Congratulations.
thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Ron. I really had no idea who would come tonight. You know, Facebook statistics just aren't reliable, and they said, you know, 15 people were coming and 9 were maybes. But then I knew a lot of people, particularly in my medical life here, have never been on Facebook and will never be on Facebook, so it's a whole other side of predicting. But no, I'm very honored that you did come, and I think as you look around the room, it's probably hard for you to immediately figure out where all these people would fit into my life, but they do, including, you know, the 18-year-old and so on, who has known me for only a few weeks, but since, as you said, I required her to kill fewer things than anybody else you could work with. So anyway, she has chosen me. Now, what might interest you, just as you're sort of pondering what we do in the workplace? We had a town hall meeting, and I was certain that she would be out of place there, that everybody would feel that she would feel that, and that she would not enjoy going to this lab medicine town hall meeting. And I was absolutely wrong. She loved it. She thought this was greater drama than you could see on TV or the movies. This was fantastic. You know, she's trying to figure out what adult life is all about. And boy, that meeting in just about 60 minutes taught her everything she ever needed to know. So that's one of the things that I like about working with young people, are those sorts of counterintuitive surprises. And they're constant in my life. I share that room with people between the ages of 18 and 29, 30, and so every day, surprising and fun things happen. And I am also quite proud that I'm in such a unique work life. I don't think anybody, there's no senior medical school faculty member like me anywhere who's sharing a room like that. And why does it work? Well, where's Corey Fung? So as Corey says, the young people sort of roll in about 10:30. So I get like 2 or 3 hours in the morning where this beautiful room with wonderful art and artifacts is just mine. And I can dictate and do all sorts of boring stuff and doesn't bother anybody. And just about the time that I'm getting tired of that, then the young people come and the character of what goes on there changes. But it is really fun, and it keeps me young like you wouldn't believe. So anyhow, so I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what Mallory and I are up to with this Future and All That Jazz initiative. It goes back to the course I teach on technology and the future of medicine and Rich Sutton. Now, there was a very high-profile meeting in Puerto Rico in January 2015 about the future coevolution of human beings, us, and machines. And there were 79 people there, and 78, including very famous people, Elon Musk and so on, are all in favor of enslaving sentient AI. And as you know, historically, for human beings, slavery hasn't been a terribly successful mode of being. But anyway, that is the plan, and that's the plan that Bill Gates has espoused and a whole host of other famous people. So Rich Sutton holds the belief that when machines are as smart as we are, we should be kind and honest with them. We should include them in our circles of empathy. We should not enslave them. We should realize that we're not top dog anymore, that sometimes they'll be better at things, sometimes we'll be better at things, and that we can help each other for a very, very long period. And if you think about it, that's the only survival strategy, because people who are planning enslavement are something smarter than we are. Ultimately, these machines will outsmart us, and because we've really, really pissed them off, this enslavement plan, they will probably do us in, and they'll be capable of doing that. So, really what Mallory and I are doing is taking that message and making it palatable, making it something that the person who would never sit through a lecture on this, for whom it just is not going to happen, that they'd sit still and listen to this message about how we should co-evolve with sentient machines. Those same folks would listen to that message if it's in poetry or song or sound bites of a kind that they're familiar with in their entertainment life. And so that's what we're doing. It is true, I think, that we can do a lot of good here, and apparently other people think so too, and that's why we've got this MOU going on with the Imagineering Institute. So I also wanted to recognize Phil Jagger and Roy and Diana and so on. And okay, Danny Zip. And I hope I haven't left out any poets. Whew, I think I successfully named them all. Unless your mother is a poet.
She is.
But we should wish her a happy birthday as well.
So it's also your birthday, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I have gotten the impression from some of Danny's videos that being Danny's parent might have, on a rare occasion, been a bit challenging. So I kind of, commiserate with you.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tim.
Well, it shows that I listen carefully to your videos, including comments about parents. Yeah. So anyway, no, I think that I am more interesting, more valuable, more insightful, deeper person because of my increasing poetic links. And it's a very interesting addiction. Most of you know I have 2 serious addictions, but they both seem to be quite positive. At least we can't find any adverse side effects. One is Coke Zero, that I've been seriously addicted to since 2006, when I wrote my first poem that actually mentions Coke Zero. It doesn't mention any people, it just mentions Coke Zero. And, but the other addiction is to the Tuesday poetry. That the young people here and I planned this very interesting and rather risky event where they like did about a 10-year shortcut. Ordinarily, when you're in high school and begin in university, take you about 12 years before you could go to a pathology meeting and actually present there. But in New Orleans, I was sort of in charge of the meeting, and I thought, oh, what the heck? What's the worst that could happen if you let undergraduate students speak at a pathology meeting? So as we were preparing for that, I thought, this is such a consequential thing. There's so much at stake. I obviously can't go to poetry. And as Tuesday got closer and closer, I realized that I psychologically could not, I guess there was the rational argument that my life was in balance enough that I could take the time to go to poetry, and things at this upcoming meeting in New Orleans would still be fine. But what I really knew is that I was so much enjoying those Tuesday evenings that I just felt that I had to keep on going. And I did, right up until the moment that we left. And the trip went fine. And nobody asked us any questions. Why such young people? They had a youth-only forum where you could not have any senior people on the papers. And so the students also presented there. And yeah, it worked, didn't it? And they talked about the advantage of listening to young people, which is something that I strongly believe in. Many of you may think of life as being sort of segmented into age segments, and the only logical thing is to hang out with people your own age. And you would quickly recognize that the person speaking to you right now is probably someone who's never hung out with people his own age. So you may be right that that's what I should do, but it's not what I've ever done. So I've hung out with people older and younger, but almost never people of my own age. So I wonder, Roy, you're rather spontaneous. Would you like to come up and say something, or?
Well, can I say my birthday poem?
You certainly can. Come up and honor us with that birthday poem. Yeah.
And I'll try to do it in a Kim style. Okay, so I know a doctor. His name is Kim, and today we will celebrate. And today many will celebrate his birthday with him. Dr. Kim is also a friend, and he's very poetic. Dr. Kim poems are often prophetic. With words, Dr. Kim is very lyrically athletic. His recitations are very energetic. Dr. Kim is a marvelous mentor and leader. I'm sure he's a prolific reader. Listen, and he'll tell you about all that jazz in the future. He says, no worries, your robots won't enslave or shoot you. He's getting younger and wiser by the day. What else about Dr. Kim can I say? Well, he loves to video many interesting things. And to millions, I'm sure, prodigious joy he brings. Happy birthday, Kim.
So, as many of you know, I've recently won a mentoring award in Faculty of Medicine. And you know, I took a chance. I made an assertion that I had no evidence for whatsoever. And that is that when you win something big like this mentoring award, that you could or should leverage that and accomplish a lot of other things that otherwise you just couldn't ever make happen. And it's a rather gutsy thing to do, because when you make a list of things you're going to try to do, people can look at the list and say, well, you actually didn't accomplish any of those things on the list, Dr. Solez. So maybe the most important thing on that list has happened, and that is, and this is very important to me, that although I'm very devoted to the Technology and Future of Medicine course, what I really always wanted to do is to teach medical students directly and with a required course that they all had to take, so I'd reach them all. So I didn't have to worry about, you know, providing a special pitch so that some of the medical students would pay attention, but they would all have to pay attention. So 2 of the first-year medical students came to me and said, listen, you should abandon your efforts to get us to take the existing course. You should instead insist on including in our required courses the important things you're teaching that we should be hearing in your course. And we're telling you this, and we think if you tell the people running those courses that we told you this, that might have a certain force. And that's exactly what happened. So I asked for 2 hours. I said I'd begin with 2 hours in this physicianship course, which is a required course in the first year. But I think you're going to get so hooked on this future stuff that eventually go to 4 and 6 and so on. That was the prediction that I made. And guess what? They gave me 4 hours to start with. So they took like the average of what I was predicting. So in this coming year, I'll be providing 4 hours of futuristic stuff from our course for required medical student teaching. And so I don't know if it was luck or whether it was skill, but anyway, I succeeded in this. And every now and then when something good like that happens, does increase your confidence that you could do other things. So even though when you hear Mallory's next set, it's absolutely true today that although we have this Future and All That Jazz initiative, and others in the room are also part of that, we don't know exactly what we're doing or where we're doing it right at the moment. But I'm quite confident that the thing will be very successful in the long run. And so you're kind of seeing us at the very beginning of something that I think will turn out to be quite significant and important. Although the exact way it will play itself out, we just don't know as of June 20th, 2016. So now I'm going to ask Mallory to come back and to do the second set.
All right, so I hope those of you remaining are ready to sing a little bit. Because we are going to first of all start the set by singing happy birthday to Kim, or Dr. Solez, or whatever you refer to him by.